Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of College Ball with J Dog. I got a good one lined up for us today. We got a new chair of the playoff committee. Scandal going on with the former one. We've also got our Week 12 predictions. We got our upset picks, our best bets. So, y'all subscribe to the channel, lock in with me, give me to 100 subscribers. I'll give you content 5 days a week, Sunday through Thursday. Improving my equipment as we go. Got a new mic. Y'all can hear me better. Get me some new lights. Y'all subscribe. Show me you appreciate the content. Let's get right into it, y'all. Let's start with the new athletic director. I'm going to read this from my phone, y'all, because there's a lot to put on. A bunch of photos to pull up. But Arkansas's athletic director is the new head chair of the committee. Baylor's athletic director was, but he's got a scandal going on. Apparently, he had some issue with the tight end, Trig. Not really sure the whole details on it. Something about the color shirt he was wearing. It turned into a big ordeal. So he got deseated. Now Arkansas's athletic director is the head chair. Does that affect the future rankings? Or does it basically just some more of the same, but a new head chair? Does he influence rankings? Does things change next Tuesday? I'm not really sure. I know he's just one of 13 people, but his say could sway a couple of people in a couple different directions. If he says, "Oh, I think this team's ranked this high," that could move them up a whole spot. You just never know. So we definitely got some chaos going on even in the playoff committee. Here's the statement. The College Football Management Committee has formally approved the return of Utah Athletic Director Mark Harlan to its selection of the committee and named current committee member and Arkansas Athletic Director Hunter Yurachek its new chair of the College Football Playoff announced on Thursday. The move comes hours after Baylor Athletic Director and Selection Committee Chair Mac Rhodes took a leave of absence from his job for personal reasons amid a university investigation. We are deeply appreciative of Mac Rhodes' leadership and service as chair of the College Football Playoff Selection Committee this season. Mac has informed us of his decision to step down for personal reasons. Our thoughts are with him and his family during this time. We are pleased to announce that Hunter Yurachek will assume the role of Selection Committee Chair, effective immediately. Hunter's experience, integrity, and commitment to the game make him exceptionally well suited to lead the committee as it has continued its important work throughout the remainder of the season. So Baylor told, this is why Baylor's guy stepped down. Baylor told ESPN Adam Rittenberg that the university received allegations involving Rhodes on Monday. The allegations do not involve Title IX, student welfare, NCAA rules, and does not involve the football program, indicating it is a separate incident from Rhodes' alleged altercation with a football player during a September game. They said it was something to do with the tight end Trig, something about the color shirt he's wearing. They got into it. I don't know. Am I the only one that don't think that makes sense, y'all? That's that big of a deal that he has to step down as the head of the College Football Playoff Committee, one of the most important titles you can own in college football. I'm pretty sure he's stepping away as athletic director at Baylor, too. So that's a developing story, y'all. We'll see how it affects things or if it affects anything at all. Not sure yet, but that was breaking news today. I figured we'd cover it. Let's get in this weekend, y'all. We got a freaking huge slate of games this weekend, starting tomorrow night. You got 2 Friday night games And Saturday, we got a loaded slate, y'all. We got a lot of games to go over. Like I said, I'm going to give you my best bets. I'm going to give you my upset picks. I'm batting about 65% on the upset picks, y'all. So, if you're a gambler, follow along. I gamble a little bit, y'all. I've told y'all that. I don't bet a lot of money. I ain't got the money to bet a lot of money. I got kids, family, all that stuff, bills. If you can't bet responsibly, if you're somebody who's got an addictive personality, don't gamble. Don't let me sway you to gambling. Let's get into these picks, y'all. I'm telling you, we got a lot of games to go over. It's going to be a hell of a weekend. I think it's going to be one of those chaotic upset Saturdays, y'all. I think we'll go over the games I think will be upsets. I don't think the top teams are going to be part of it, but the rest of the field, I think there's going to be mass chaos this Saturday, y'all. First game, we got Friday night. Clemson travels to Louisville. Clemson is 2.5 point favorites. Over under 51.5. Louisville is favored by the FPI about 55 to 45. We're starting it off with upset pick, y'all. I mean, we're not wasting no time getting into it. I've got Clemson going beating Louisville tomorrow night. Helping my balls out a little bit. I just think Louisville's overrated. They did beat Miami. But besides that Miami win, they've got no signature wins. And Miami was in the midst of falling apart at that point. Clemson has had a terrible season. They got a win against Florida State last week. Friday night games, y'all. These Friday nights, there have been upsets almost every single Friday night this year. So I got Clemson getting themselves one step closer to making a bowl game by upsetting Louisville Saturday. That will help my Vols out. That'll help us move up the rankings a little bit. Could you say I'm picking with my heart instead of my mind? Sure you could. But I don't think I am. I just think these Friday night games, there's been upsets every single week. And I think we got one coming this Friday. There's another Friday night game. Minnesota travels out to Oregon. Oregon's favored by 25.5 points. The over-under is 43.5. FPI loves Oregon about 95, 96%. We're not going to waste much time on that game, y'all. I think Oregon wins that one pretty handily, but I do think Minnesota could cover. But I'm going to take the Ducks to cover since Minnesota's having to travel out west. It's going to be Oregon plus the points. I think they handle that game pretty easily. Minnesota could cover because 25.5 is a lot of points. Minnesota's not been a terrible team. They've not been great either. I just think Oregon's about to put their foot on the gas to make their run to the playoffs. So give me Oregon to cover. That's our Friday night games, y'all. Let's get into this Saturday slate, y'all. We're going to start off with my favorite team. We got the Tennessee Vols taking on New Mexico State. Y'all, I think I'm going to go with New Mexico State in the upset. Just kidding. Tennessee's favored by 39.5 points, y'all. This game should really be over by halftime. They got a 1% chance of beating us according to the FPI. I think Aguilar has a big day. I think the running backs, it's probably be like 42 to 7 at halftime. This is one of those backup specials. Backup's going to get a lot of time in this game. Vols take care of business. Cover that spread. I think we cover it. Heupel's really good at covering the spread against them smaller schools. He always has been. I'm gonna take them to cover the spread. We're about to get into some of the good games, y'all. But we gotta stop for this one first. Wisconsin travels to Indiana. Indiana is 28.5-point favorites. Over under is 43.5, y'all. FPI giving Indiana a 97% chance to win this game. This game won't even be close. That spread's not high enough. Indiana will win this game by 35, 42 points. Every time Indiana plays one of these scrub teams, y'all, they handle business. We know that. So give me Indiana. Big. I think they win this by 40 points. When I put that game on my bet card, I'm going to move the spread to probably at least 34.5, if not further. That's what Indiana does in these games, y'all. Indiana, when they play these terrible teams, they absolutely kick ass. When they play tougher teams, it's a lot closer. But they handle business against scrubs. So give me Indiana. Big against Wisconsin. Wisconsin coming off of an upset of Washington. They better have enjoyed it because that's all they're going to get. We got South Carolina traveling up Texas A&M, y'all. The spread in this one is 19.5. The over-under, 48.5. FPI loves Texas A&M. I like Texas A&M in this game. That 19.5, that's a lot of points, y'all. I'm going to take South Carolina to cover. 19.5 is a lot of points. I know South Carolina's been terrible. I know they've been terrible, y'all. But 19.5 points, I can't take them to cover that spread. So I'm going to take South Carolina to cover. I think A&M wins by anywhere from 14 to 17. Texas A&M's a machine right now. They're rolling. South Carolina's having an abysmal season. Worse than anybody thought would be their worst case scenario. The bad season continues, but they cover that 19.5 points. I just can't see them losing that bad. But Texas A&M's beat a lot of people like that. That's just a gut feeling I've got. Notre Dame travels to Pitt. To hear Pitt coach Pat Narduzzi talk, this game don't mean nothing. Most coaches think every game means something. The next game's the most important game. That's what most coaches say. Not Pat Narduzzi. He said he don't care if they lose this game 100-10, 110-10. Way to get your team fired up, Narduzzi. The spread in this game is 12.5. Over-unders 53.5. Y'all, I'm sorry, I'm blind. FPI likes Notre Dame 77-23. This is one of my best bets of the week, y'all. I like Notre Dame to win this game, cover the spread. I think they win it by 3 touchdowns or more. The way Pat Narduzzi talks, I can see his team, if they get behind in this game, 14, 17 points, his team's going to say, well, hell, coach said this game don't even matter. All we need to worry about is Georgia Tech next week. Why would we even try in this game? That's how I feel about it, y'all. I think Narduzzi, even if he felt that way, why would you say it out loud to the public? Then your team gets in a battle against Notre Dame, they get down 14, 17 points. And all they're going to hear in their head is, hell, coach said this game don't matter. We might as well take this game off. All we care about is Georgia Tech next week. Hell, who gives a damn? Best bet of the week, Notre Dame covering that 12.5 points. You might want to jump on that because that's liable to move even further in Notre Dame's way by the time Saturday rolls around. because I'm sure a lot of people's putting money on Notre Dame. The more money it goes on Notre Dame, the further it's going to go. It'll probably, I say by Saturday, be up to 14.5. So if you want the 2 scores, you better take it now, or you'll have to do an alternate spread, which ain't that bad anyway. You just lose a little bit of money on that. Michigan travels to Northwestern, y'all. The spread in this game is 11.5. Northwestern is actually not being a terrible football team this year, and everybody thought they was going to be. Michigan has about an 80% chance to win this game according to the FPI. Over under is 41.5. I do think this will be a low scoring game. I'm going to take Michigan to cover in this game. And the main reason I'm going to do that is because Northwestern has a terrible run defense. That's what Michigan's good at. If you can somehow make Michigan have to pass the ball, you can win this game. But when you struggle against the run all year, it's hard for me to pick you to be able to stop it. So give me Michigan to cover. But I'm not that confident in that pick at all. I've got another best bet for us out here, y'all. South Florida going to Navy. The spread in this game is 9.5. FPI loves USF in this game, 82%. Alex Gold trying to audition for all these coaching openings. Over under 62.5. South Florida is going to cover that 9.5, y'all. They're liable to win this game by more than 14 points. I think they're just too athletic for Navy. And Navy's only chance of covering that spread is to keep the ball away from South Florida. I mean, that's it. That's our only way they're going to cover that spread. Now, South Florida is going to score at will against them. The tempo, the speed, it's going to be a long day for Navy, y'all. So add that one to the best bets. We got a under the radar Arizona team traveling to Cincy. Arizona's just quietly 6-3, y'all. They got a really good quarterback, Noah Fafita. Whenever Nico left and they said we was talking to a Big 12 quarterback, it turned out to be Rocco Beck and Josh Hoover from TCU. Now, I was hoping it was Fafita. Fafita's a hell of a quarterback, y'all. Cincinnati's favored by 6.5 points. The over-under is 56.5. FPI like Cincinnati, about 68%. I'm going to take Arizona to cover that spread, y'all. Cincinnati did not look that good last week or while against Texas Tech. Arizona's hung around a lot of games this year, y'all. I love Noah Fafita. He's a hell of a quarterback. I wish he transferred to a bigger school for next season. But he's been loyal to Arizona, and that's hard to find these days. Even with his coach going to Washington, he stayed at Arizona. So I respect him for that. Up next, we got Arkansas traveling down to Baton Rouge. This is a 12:45 kickoff, y'all. LSU's favored by 5.5. The over-under is 57.5. I love LSU in this game, y'all. Don't even know who their starting quarterback's going to be. But LSU has one hell of a defense. Arkansas's defense sucks. So this could be the best LSU's offense looks all year. And LSU's defense is good enough to slow down Taylor Green and the Hawks. A lot of people's taking Arkansas to cover that spread. I'm adding this to the bets, y'all. I think LSU wins this game comfortably, 10-14. So take LSU plus the 5.5. I think that's easy money, y'all. I really do. Where are we heading next? Let's go. OU traveling down to Tuscaloosa, y'all. One of the first big matchups of the day. Alabama's favored by 6.5. People's been putting a little money on Oklahoma. That's 7.5. Got it moved down. Over under is 45.5. Sorry, my stupid ass dog barking, of course. They love to ruin my video, y'all. Alabama's favored by the FPI, 71.4%. I like Alabama in this game. I don't even think it's close. I think Alabama wins this game comfortably. Oklahoma beat Tennessee, absolutely. But Tennessee handed them that game on a silver platter. Alabama will torch Oklahoma's secondary. The one knock on Joey Aguilar is his turnovers. We torched Oklahoma's secondary all game. They threw them the ball. Ty Simpson's not going to do that. Ty Simpson threw one interception this year. We had almost 400 yards at halftime and only 10 points because we had 3 turnovers. Alabama's not going to do that to themselves, especially at home. Alabama will torch Oklahoma's secondary. They'll cover that 6.5 easily. Oklahoma drops 6-3. Should be 5-4. But we handed them one on silver platter. As much as it kills me to take Alabama, I think Alabama wins that game easily, y'all. This one's only on here to give you a best bet. Central Florida travels down to Texas Tech. Spreading this one's 24.5. Take Texas Tech, plugs the points. That's all we're going to talk about on that one. Just add that to the best bet. Texas Tech, when they've had Baron Morton, has not won a game by less than 24 points. UCF sucks. Texas Tech will cover that spread easily. So our best bets right now, South Florida over Navy. Texas Tech over UCF. Y'all should put this into a parlay, I'm telling you. Notre Dame over Pitt. And Indiana over Wisconsin. Those 4 together in a parlay, you put $5 or $10 on it, you'll win some money. Where are we going next? Let's go NC State, traveling down to Miami, y'all. The spread in this game is 15.5. North Carolina State's quarterback, C.J. Bailey, is quietly having a really good year. If he enters the transfer portal after this year, he'll end up at a bigger school. He's a really good quarterback. Carson Beck, aka Timmy from South Park, has slowly been on a decline. If he starts turning the ball over in this game, North Carolina State could give Miami a scare. Them 15.5 points, that's too much. Give me North Carolina State to cover that spread. Miami, the way they played the last 3 or 4 weeks, they shouldn't be getting 15.5 points against a team like North Carolina State. I'm going to take North Carolina State to cover that 15.5. I really like their quarterback, C.J. Bailey. He's a hell of a quarterback, y'all. Iowa travels out to USC, y'all. How is this game on the Big Ten Network? It makes no sense how this game ends up on the Big Ten Network. You got the CBS 3:30 game, that's Big Ten now. And the next game we talk about ends up in that slot. This one's on the Big Ten Network that some people don't even get. It blows my mind. USC is favored by 6.5. Over under 48.5. That's a lot of points when you're playing Iowa. I would take the under on that. if you like betting over-unders, I take the under on that. It's supposed to be pouring down rain in this game, which is crazy because they're in LA where it's supposed to be dry this time of year. It's supposed to be piss pouring rain. FPI likes USC 76-24. I think USC covers the spread, but the rain is traveling Iowa around, y'all. They had rain last week against Oregon. They had rain when they played Penn State, maybe, or Indiana. It seems like every big game Iowa plays, it rains. But I love USC to cover that spread. USC has too much speed, too much athleticism. Iowa traveling halfway across the country. When their teams travel out west, they struggle. I like USC to cover that spread. Another game that'll help my Vols. Because somehow Iowa drops one spot after losing to Indiana. Make it make sense. They're 6-3. If you want to hear my take on that, go back and watch yesterday's video. I'm not going to get into it and get myself fired up again today. This right here is the game that is the 3:30 CBS game. 3-6 Penn State and 3-6 Michigan State. Iowa and USC play at 3:30. It's on the Big Ten freaking network. And this one's on national television. How in the hell does the Big Ten make that stupid ass decision? You put your best game of the week on the Big Ten network and give the national audience this piece of crap. Penn State's favored by 7.5. Penn State will cover that spread. Michigan State's about to fire their coach. I don't think their team really likes them. So I think they've really gave up. They've moved on. Penn State covers that 7.5 spread. That's another one of my best bets. I really like Penn State in that game. We're going to travel over to North Carolina. Virginia travels to Duke. This is going to be another game that moves my Vols up. My Vols could get all the way up to about 19 or 18 by the end of this week, y'all. Virginia, underdogs against Duke. Don't think Chandler Morris is playing for Virginia. Even if he was, I like Duke in this game. Darian Mensah. Duke paid him a lot of money. And he's playing like he deserved that money. He's got 24 touchdowns. No. Yeah, 24 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, y'all. Duke can put the points up. Virginia, after they lost Morris last week, could barely score. I love Duke in this game. Give me Duke. Take down Virginia. Believe it or not, it's not an upset. But I do like Duke to win that game. Is Lane Kiffin playing his next team tomorrow? There's some rumblings that he really might become the next Florida coach. I don't believe it. I think Kiffin will be at Ole Miss next year or he'll be at the New York Giants. Because there's chatter about the Giants wanting him to go reunite with Jackson Dart. Spread in this game is 13.5. The way Florida looked against Kentucky last week, I cannot get that shit out of my head, y'all. Give me Ole Miss to cover. Cover easily. Especially with it being at Ole Miss. Florida looked terrible at Kentucky. This environment's going to be way more hostile. Ole Miss just got to win this game and they're in the playoffs. They can lose the next ones. They win this one, they're in the playoffs. So I think Ole Miss wins this game handily. Unless Florida just pulls their head out of their ass and plays the best game they played all year. I don't see that happening. I've got y'all an upset pick right here. Utah traveling down to Baylor. Baylor has a terrible defense, electric offense. Utah's favored by 7.5. FPI likes them about 79%. Over under 60.5 in this game. I think Baylor gets the upset win at home, y'all. Sawyer Robinson, man, he's freaking playing his ass off. He's a hell of a quarterback. Baylor's been close in a couple of games that they've ended up losing. I think they get over the hump this week. I told y'all this is going to be a chaotic Saturday, y'all. When these new rankings come out Tuesday, there's going to be a lot of movement in them. There's teams that you might think are out of it right now that's not out of it. Because I'm telling you, there will be a lot of chaos this Saturday. I'm going to come on here Sunday and be like, I tried to tell y'all, all this chaos is coming. Go back and watch my old videos. The last 2 times I told y'all there's a bunch of chaos coming. There's a bunch of chaos happening. It's happening this Saturday too. Can't wait for it. I wish it was Saturday, y'all. It's Thursday night. We're almost there. We got Clemson, Louisville tomorrow. Oregon, Minnesota. We're just about 24 hours away, y'all, from getting to watch a little football. I've got you another best bet here. Ohio State's going to absolutely thrash Nico and UCLA. Spread's 31.5. There ain't much to say about this one. Ohio State's the best team in the country. UCLA is one of the worst. Ohio State's going to cover that spread easy. Ohio State probably win by 35, 42 points. When we get done picking these games, y'all, I got one thing I want to talk about with you. And then we'll get out of here. We got 3 more games, then a little discussion. Then we're going to hang it up for the night, y'all. The biggest game of the week, no matter what College Game Day says. You got Texas traveling down to Athens. Is it going to be hook 'em horns? Or is it going to be the mean machine and the red and black coming down the tracks? A lot of money's being bet on Texas, y'all. I love that. Because last year, everybody was picking Texas last year too. Kirby and Georgia's going up. Texas has been going up a little bit. Georgia's not losing in Athens 2 times this year. It's just not happening. Texas has been playing better. Spread 6.5, y'all. FPI likes Georgia 60-40. I love Georgia in this game. I think Georgia's going to remind people who Georgia is. They've had a slow start this year, especially first halves. They get behind, they come back, win. Last week they was dominant against a pretty good Mississippi State team. Mississippi State's not great. Mississippi State's been good at home. Georgia went in there, belt the ass, pulled their pants down, took the belt to the bare ass. Georgia's going to remind Texas who the big dog is in the SEC. They're going to say, you should have stayed in the Big 12. This is SEC ball. Texas still has another loss down the road. They still got to play Texas A&M last game of the season. I got Texas losing 4 games this year. That starts Saturday. Georgia covers that spread, wins by about 10 points. Texas playoff hopes are about all but done unless they go to Texas A&M and win last game of the year. Telling y'all, there will be at least 2 3-loss teams end up in this playoff. There's a lot of chaos coming these last 3 weeks. Missouri hosting Mississippi State. If Missouri starts their freshman quarterback in this game, Mississippi State will beat them. Mississippi State's a pretty good team, yo. Yes, they're 5-5. They got a lot of close losses. Lost by 2 in the swamp. Lost in overtime to Tennessee. Lost in overtime to Texas. Them close games go their way. Mississippi State's 8-2. They are a really decent football team. They're not great, but they're good. That style of offense can catch teams off guard. And that freshman quarterback from Missouri looked absolutely terrible last week. I'm gonna take Mississippi State to cover the spread. If I'm betting on them, I'm taking the upset. Actually, just give me Mississippi State in the upset. I like Mississippi State in this game, y'all. Add that one to the upset picks of the week. I'm telling y'all, chaos is ensuing this week. It might be the most chaos of any Saturday of the season. Because we're going to end these picks off with one more upset. I got TCU traveling to BYU. They are 3.5-point underdogs. TCU pulls the upset off too. Josh Hoover throws the ball around the yard. BYU struggles to score. They got exposed against Texas Tech last week. If you shut down BYU's run game, you will beat them. Barry Bachmeier is not that great of a passer. He excels in play action. So if you stop the run and you don't have to respect play action, you beat BYU. BYU still had a hell of a year. I think their coach is a hell of a coach. If he got a bigger program, he'd win a lot of games. But I got TCU getting upset over BYU. The chaos is happening, y'all. I got a graphic I want to show you. Then we're going to talk a little bit Big Ten, SEC. You know how it goes. Y'all let me know which picks y'all disagree with in the comment section. If y'all think I'm crazy for thinking all these upsets are coming, you think it's going to be a vanilla weekend where the favorites win. Not many upsets. I think there's a lot of upsets brewing, y'all. Like I said, the last 2 times I said that this year, it was absolute chaos on Saturday. It's happening again this Saturday. Big Ten teams that are better or close to the same as the top teams in the SEC. No one wants to talk about. USC, Georgia, is equal to Georgia. Come on, man. If you're old enough to remember Randy Moss, NFL Sunday Countdown, come on, man. Michigan, better than Texas. Texas beat the shit out of Oklahoma, am I right? Michigan played Oklahoma. Oklahoma beat them like a damn drum. So how is Michigan better than Texas? Oregon equal to Texas A&M? I don't think so. Oregon's really good. I don't think they're equal to Texas A&M. I think they're a step below Texas A&M. Iowa, the team that quarterback is threw for 1,000 yards of offense 12 weeks into the season, is better than Ole Miss. This dude's either smoking the best weed there's ever been or he's on the crack pipe, y'all. He needs to put the pipe down, whichever one it is. This dude needs to put the pipe down. Iowa better than Ole Miss. That's the most egregious one out of all of them. USC being equal to Georgia, dude's lost his damn mind. I'm going to settle the debate of which conference is better, top to bottom, right now. You see these spreads, y'all, that we go over every week? If Texas A&M or Georgia or Bama play Kentucky or Florida, South Carolina, the biggest spread you're going to see is about 19, 20 points, right? And that's if the better team's the home team. If the better team's on the road, it's going to be about 17, 16. These spreads in the Big Ten, y'all, Indiana against Wisconsin was up to 30.5 points. Ohio State against UCLA. 30 points. Oregon against Minnesota. Minnesota is 5-4, 6-3, 5-4. I think it's 5-4, maybe 6-3 in the Big Ten. That spread is 25.5 points. And Minnesota's in the middle tier of the Big Ten. The SEC's middle tiers, Tennessee right now, teams like that. If Tennessee played Bama or Georgia or Texas A&M on a neutral site, the highest that spread would be probably about 9.5 points. Even if we traveled to Georgia or Bama, we've already seen that. The spread was at Bama was like 8.5, 7.5. Minnesota's a middle tier team in the Big Ten. And they're almost 4 touchdown underdogs against the third best team in the conference. Top to bottom, the SEC is king. Those spreads tell you everything you need to know. South Carolina has won 3 games this year. Texas A&M undefeated, third in the country. Texas A&M at home, still only favored by 19.5 points. And South Carolina is tied for the worst record in the conference. Minnesota's the middle of the pack Big Ten team, traveling out to Oregon. Almost 4 touchdown underdogs. Which conference is better top to bottom? Those spreads tell you everything you need to know. The SEC is king. Will always be king. The Big 12's top 2, Big 10's top 2 or 3 teams are on par with the top 10 SEC teams. But the bottom 10 Big 10 teams couldn't hold the bottom 10 SEC teams' jockstraps, y'all. I would love to be able to get FanDuel or DraftKings to make spreads all the way down the board. Number 1 Big 10, number 1 SEC. So Texas A&M, Ohio State, Indiana, Bama, Georgia, Oregon, USC, Ole Miss, all the way down the line and see what those spreads are. If anybody can make that happen in the comments, or anybody that watches this, and you can make that happen, the only person I know that can make it happen is Josh Pate. I'd love to see the spreads in those games. That's the show for today, y'all. If you enjoyed the content, hit that subscribe button for me. Even if you didn't, hit that subscribe button for me. Help a brother out. Help a brother live his dream. I appreciate all y'all tuning in. Y'all let me know your picks on these big games in the comment section. I love going back and forth with y'all. Hope all of you have a blessed weekend, a blessed college football Saturday. I'll talk to y'all Sunday and recap this weekend. I'm telling you, it's going to be a chaotic one. God bless y'all. And go Vols.